at Barcelona, Catalunya, running the national layout. If you think we just been here, we were not too many weeks ago in the first season. This is a bit better layout for the Skippy. A little bit shorter. It's 11 turns for this track. The couple long straights coming out of the last turn, and then I think it's turn 5 that's in here as well. You get a 4, you get a super long straight as well. Both areas, great opportunities to overtake going into the brake zones. Other than that, it's pretty technical little sections here. It's a little bit different from last week. A couple more tight turns on here. It's a I'm actually kind of excited about this. I wasn't too happy about the last layout, but this one I like fairly well. The weather settings for this test were um, 78 degrees Fahrenheit, 103 for the track. That's 25.5 for the air temperature and 39.4 for the track temperatures. Winds were northeast at 15 miles per hour. As I said, it's 11 turns, it's 1.85 miles. My best time was a 121.774. Optimal, I believe, was a 121.6 something. Did You can see 21 laps here. Probably could have had a little bit more, better time, and work on it throughout the week and find a little bit more time here and there. The setup. Here's the setup that I have. It's the exact same setup I used for Barcelona for last season. I didn't make any changes to it at all. Um, didn't need to tweak it, didn't even do anything. Just put it on there. It ran well. Felt comfortable with it, so I went ahead and just left it there. So we'll go ahead and watch one lap, uh, and then I will walk you through it. All right, so that was one lap around. Let me cue it back up. We'll start from the beginning again, and we'll go through and look at this. So coming out of the straight, you can move quite a few far to the left. Don't get into the sand, get you a little bit too far. You come up to just past the 300 marker up here. I go about, I'll say about 30 meters past it when I start my brake. You see the markers right here. I come up here, still full throttle, about 30 meters. It's about three panels on the fence before I start braking on there. I point the car kind of towards the inside of the turn as I'm braking. As you can see, I'm slowing down quite a bit. Uh, Trail braking in here to get a little bit of rotation, and I'm maintaining a little bit of throttle just to keep the car neutral. Getting back to throttle, fairly early in here, unwinding to come out to the left to track out. Don't want to track out too wide, just because if you do get too wide there, you do have a lot of room to come back, uh, and you'll notice that I'm going to be flat. I mean, it's going to be floored through here, coming around here, getting this corner here. The turn in back here, you can see it's very similar to last week. It's just far enough for me to get over there, and then I'm getting that turn in. I'm floored throughout here, 100% throttle. You can just about get your right tires all the way onto the red and white rumble strips there before you get a 0x. Just be a little bit careful there. When you come out here, you can actually get your tires to the right of that yellow just a little bit. I think I get right about on them right there. Come over fairly quick. There's no 0x or nothing right there. You can get that fairly well. I notice if I try to get a little to the left of it, I do scrub a little bit of speed. So if I do hit it, it's probably good for qualifying. You might pick up damage if you do it over and over again. Continue being floored all the way up here, just past the end of the curbing that's on the left-hand side. You notice my tires are going out into the dirt. I start my turn in. I am going to lift the throttle just slightly in here, as you can see, and then get right back on full throttle again. Track out way to the left. Be careful, don't go too far to the left out here. You will get a time penalty getting too far out there. Staying floored all the way down this straight. This is where there will be some passing. Coming into this brake zone, you're coming all the way to the far right. You see the little black marker that's right here. I'm going to start braking just right at that marker. Kind of in a straight line. You see me coming down, brake, brake, brake. I start to turn in mainly just because I'm starting to get a little bit of rotation of the car. You can see I'm already counter steering to that rotation. As I was braking, the car started sliding out on me. You want to come down here. Don't take too much of the left curve here. You can get your left tires just inside of that green. It does get a little bit bumpy sometimes, depending on how far you get in there. Key here is to get on the throttle as soon as you can. So I think right before I get to the curb here, I'll be back on the throttle. You can see I am starting to apply the throttle. So it's actually right as I hit that curb, I'm getting back on that throttle. Tracking way out to the right. You can get your tires right up to that yellow curb. I think you can go a little bit over the yellow curb and be okay, but just be careful there. Going 100% forward through here. Don't go too far left on here. Don't get greedy and get into the green there. You will get either a time penalty or a 1x going too far left here. You can see I'm floored through here. I'm carrying as much speed as I can. I just barely tap the brakes here just to get the front to sit down just a little bit. Coast for a little while, a little slight maintenance throttle. I say coast, you can see I'm keeping my foot a bit on that throttle. Again, I'm not sure exactly why I'm doing it, but it seems to be helping me out, keeping the car kind of neutral. Get full throttle, you know, moving towards full throttle before you see you get that big yellow sausage curb on the right. Get full throttle, track all the way out to the left. Don't touch the sand out there, but get right to it. And then here I am braking about halfway between the yellow concrete barrier here and this black mark right here. Getting kind of an early turn in. You'll see that as I get the car turned in, I'm starting to get back on the throttle again right in here. I'm starting to get back on that throttle. I don't want to track out too far to the left because I do need to come back to the right again. As you can see, as I start coming back to this right before I get under that I don't even know what it is, that structure up there, I'm starting to get on the brake fairly heavy, slowing down. I'm turning in. I'm trying to stay as left as I can. Don't get too much of that curb. It will upset the car significantly. And then I am getting back to full throttle, getting prepped to make my right hand turn. And again, don't get too much of that yellow curb. You can just get a little bit of it. And then do not get that yellow curb out on the left. You will get a 0x, and at times it causes damage to the car. But I'm at full throttle coming out of this corner right here. So you can see I'm going full throttle here, and I'm staying full throttle all the way through this last turn. And coming through, I think a lap on this one's a 1:21.774. Like I said, there's probably just a little bit more time in there. Obviously, everyone will start getting faster and faster throughout the week. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next week.